Transformer Collector Tour. Welcome back to another episode of This 31-Year-Old Man Has an Obsession of Plastic Robots That Turned into Cars and Lizards. A lot of you have been asking for an updated collection tour, and one of the main reasons why I haven't is because I've gotten a lot over the years that's not just on this shelf, and I wanted to set it up properly. Now I have set it up properly. Everything is here, and then also in another room. We'll take a look at all that, and then there's some extra stuff I'll show you later on. But I guess we should start with the top of the shelf. I think this part of my collection has seen the most changes because there's a lot of boxes. I've changed out some of the boxes, added different boxes, but mostly just stuff to add other Transformers on. It might get a little wobbly because I'm doing this single-handedly because I can't reach, but there is the Studio Series War for Cybertron stuff, minus the Thundercracker and Ironhide. They are over there. The reason why I don't have them there is because they're new editions, and I really just don't want to deal with it right now. Also, Studio Series Gamer Edition adjacent, because we've got the Bumblebee and Starscream from Reactivate. Over here, we've got the Studio Series Constructicons, and those are the separate releases, not the box set, but I wanted to have all of them together. We have the Dark of the Moon Optimus Prime right there. We've got a whole bunch of in-box stuff. Dark of the Moon Thundercracker, Dark of the Moon Cyberverse Optimus Prime, a Skids that I just had an extra of, and a Prime Cliff Jumper. There's a Skull Grin in the back, and then, I don't know if you can see that, but there's like a custom Warpath in box that I made. Over here is just a few extra things. We've got a couple of knockoffs. So we got the Nemesis Prime, the Classics one. We also have the Punch Counter Punch. I think that's a Transformers subscription service figure. We've got these cake toppers. Over here we have a Bumblebee and Starscream that was custom painted, and then we have a whole bunch of tiny turbo changers that dress up the front. You'll see that throughout. And then there's my Studio Series stuff. So originally these were separated by waves, but now they're separated by movies. So we got first movie, we've got Revenge of the Fallen, we've got Dark of the Moon. I'll try to lift this up so that you can see everything. We've got Age of Extinction, The Last Night, and of course the Bumblebee movie characters. Now most of this is the Autobots. I do have the Shockwave and Soundwave at the front, but then over here we've got the Bumblebee movie Decepticons. You can't really see it, but I do have the other Seekers in the back. I've got all the Seekers actually. The very few bot shots that I own. Hey, there's a rare Tiny Turbo Scorponok and Megatron. Anyways, I also have a custom Laserbeak and Buzzsaw that actually goes into the Bumblebee movie Soundwave. We've got some Rise of the Beast characters, and we've got some Jada toys. I don't have too much of it, but you know, we've got some. There is pretty much my entire Transformers 1 stuff. And then we've got a plushie Optimus Prime, you can see behind there. We've got these Squeezamals, whatever they're called. They don't really stand too well. A couple of the Lego blocky guys, whatever they're called, Brickheads, that's what they are. Oh, we do have another Jada thing, and then we've got Shockwave with his head bit into! With Generations, it's really going to be tough to see, but I do have the Fall of Cybertron Bruticus. That right there is a custom painted version of the Cliff Jumper. There's a bunch of War for Cybertron characters. Over on the side here, this is really tricky to see, but those are the Q Transformers, and I think behind them, they have those little minifigure mystery packs. There you go. That's a good look, I guess. Very professional. We've got a Legend Starscream. Let's see. A couple of McDonald's toys. I don't know why I have those right there. I think they came from Burger King. We've got my only titanium thing. That is a knockoff Minicon. The silver one right there in front of the Bumblebee. And then we've got a couple other Minicons. Let's see if I could get a good look. There's a Trail Cutter, a Generations Bumblebee, and a Universe Classics Warpath. Somewhere in there is a backstop as well. It's a Cybertron backstop, but it's a repainted version. There is the Universe Classics Overkill. We've got the AVO Swerve. There we go. That Optimus Prime right there, the Classics one, came from a 2-pack in Age of Extinction. But yeah, we've got a mix of classics, Universe Classics. We also have some Reveal the Shields in the back there. Onslaught, which is my favorite figure, or at least it was my favorite figure for a while. Then we've got the IDW Generations right here. So Jetfire, Megatron, you know, Combiner Wars stuff. This isn't everything from Combiner Wars. It's definitely not everything from Generations. We've got these Legends class toys. We've got these miniatures. I think they came from a dollar store. But yeah, Roadbuster, you know, the 4 Autobots that are the Headmasters. We've got the Power Master Optimus Prime. Whole bunch of Legends. So that's cool. I'm not going to pick apart everything. Just if you spot something, you spot something. Volcanicus, and behind them we have the 6-shot. Then we have the Black Shadow, Sky Shadow. I can't remember his name. And Overload. I should probably swap those so that they're the other way around. Behind Abominus, I also have the Leader Class, Rodimus Prime for Power of the Primes, and Nemesis Prime, also from the same line. We've got the Prime Wars 3 guys, whatever you want to call them. More of those squeezlings. We've got the Prime Masters, and then those tiny Titan figures, whatever they are. These Minicons or Micromasters are just knockoffs. But we have a lot of Legends, a lot of Deluxes. This is mostly Power of the Primes. Behind here, there's Inferno, a custom Larry, which is basically Bumblebee with green. This Megatron that was a Super 7, I think it was a Battalion or something, Shockwave. And then I've got not only the Optimus, whatever these were called, but the Megatron is underneath it. Transformers Prime is my jam, so I have a bunch of figures from that. I've got some customs. This Nova Glow was just kind of like an expanded thing. But we have a Rack and Ruin. I can't remember who that is, the blue knockout repaint, but it was based on Transformers Universe, the online game that didn't really happen. We've got a Slipstream, a Pipes, a Red Alert. Those are made from cardboard, by the way. A bunch of first editions. You can see I had to put Bulkhead next to Breakdown, but I also have the Silas Breakdown in the back, and then I've got the Nightmare Unicron. Over here, we've got some of the original Cyberverse toys from the first run. We also have a bunch of Arms Micron weapon guys. These are mostly the capsule stuff. Behind here, you could see Medics, I think. No, that's Hoist. Yeah, it's Hoist from, I think it's Rescue Bots. But there is pretty much everyone else. I've got most of the mainline characters. There's very few that I'm missing. I think it's a gray Bumblebee. But I even have the Skyquake and the Dreadwing that is pretty difficult to find. Over here we've got Beast Hunters, and I have the majority of the mainline characters from that. I don't have any of the oversized Cyberverse guys, but I have a lot from Cyberverse. Cyberverse was originally the name of the smallest characters. I'm sorry if my light is flickering, I don't know why. But anyways, we have some of the Kinder Surprise toys. I've got 6 of them up here. I have a handful of the same guys because it's a mystery pack thing, but yeah, I can only get 6 out of the 8. There's whatever this was, the Authentics line, and then I think this came from maybe a board game or something. I don't know. They're just little plastic things. They don't really pose. But there is my Beast Hunter stuff. You can see Skylinks, Dark Steel, you know, all the Beast Wars or Beast Hunters Autobots that I had to change up. There's the large Predaking, the large Optimus Prime. And then I also have this rubbery Shockwave, a couple of Happy Meal toys with Bulkhead, Bumblebee, and I think, yeah, Breakdown's behind there. And then this is from Transformers Go, so at least I got something from that. And then moving on to right here, this is all mostly robots in disguise. We've got some Cyberverse stuff to talk about. The actual Cyberverse, you know, the show Cyberverse. God, this is all confusing. But anyways, we've got some Minicons. I like the deployers, I like the weaponizers, so yeah, I wanted to get some of those. I got a whole bunch of one-steps from TFA 1024. Let's see, I got some of the deployers. I didn't get the Overlord, whatever his name was. A couple of Cyberverse stuff right off the bat. That Bumblebee is missing a leg, but I did get the Prowl with the armor. So there's a bunch of the Cyberverse tiny turbo changers and some other things. That figure right there has yellowed incredibly hard, and yeah, there's some of the other characters. I'm not going to go through every Robots in Disguise Warrior. The movie line! Everyone's favorite? Maybe, maybe not. Anyways, this is all sorted by whatever movie they came out and you know, whatever line started. So this is all going to be first movie. You can see some Allspark powered stuff. A lot of this has been played with, so parts are either missing or broken. But I do have some of the Scouts, some of the Legends, and, you know, everything up to Leader, because we've got the Brawl in the background. We also have some Revenge of the Fallen stuff. This is really hard to show off because it's just kind of a cluttered mess, but I swear there's Revenge of the Fallen stuff. There's also a Human Alliance Bumblebee somewhere, and that really crappy RC. Swerve had fallen over because his legs are on wheels. Let's see, this is Hunt for the Decepticons, mostly Hunt for the Decepticons. You can see some more of the leader classes from Revenge of the Fallen, including the Shadow Command Megatron and the Starscream. That's a Hunt for the Decepticons toy. But yeah, I messed quite a few of those. We've got Dark of the Moon, so some of the basic Human Alliance, basically just the first wave. But I also have the Commodore, I have the Deluxe class Leadfoot, so I got all the wreckers. And some more Human Alliance figures. I got the Bumblebee, the Roadbuster, the Leadfoot, and the Skids is somewhere in there. Over here, it kind of leads into more Dark of the Moon stuff, but we also get the Ride Evac. We got Age of Extinction. So something fell on my shelf, and Scorn was just posed like that, so I kept them that way. But we've got pretty much all the Dinobots. We've got that Leader Class toy. And then we've got the Last Knight, whoever, you know, just whatever character I decide to pick up. But I also got some Rise of the Beast toys. I got some of the Bumblebee, Speed, whatevers. And then I also got this custom Squeaks that is definitely outdated, but he's there. Alright, so let's take a look at some of the big stuff that I didn't want to put on the shelf. We've got Fortress Maximus, we've got Trypticon, and that is the Armada Unicron, although it's the Universe Classics re-release. We've got the Battlemaster, my only one, which is Barricade, the Leader Class Bulkhead from Animated. Then over here, we've got the giant Lego Optimus Prime. We also have the Built to Rule one. I'm not sure how easy that is to see, but we do have the Lego Bumblebee, we've got the Battle Ops Bumblebee, we've got the Built to Rule Starscream. We also have the Play-Doh thing right there. A bunch of Combiner Wars combiners. So we've got Superion, the Battlecore Optimus Prime combiner. We've got Bruticus, Defensor, and Menasor. Over here we've got the original Devastator, which is one of the reasons why my Studio Series Constructicons are all split. And then we've got a very incomplete Primus. Woohoo! I got the better light. So this is all Kre-O. Look at them all. I don't know why I have so many, but I have so many. We've got the custom Kreons. We've got those Kre-O changer guys. We've got the micro changers, and then we also have some of the cosplay ones that they experimented with. We've got the large Optimus Prime and Megatron. Then over here we got some G1. That is Shockwave. That is Shockwave, although I think that is a knockoff. We've got the Conehead 3-pack, which you probably spotted the box on the top shelf. We've got, I think that's a reissue Jazz. We've got the, what's his name? The black repaint of Jazz. I'll remember it. Ricochet? That's his name. Haha! Okay, we got Blitzwing. Some of the mini-bots are in there. Pipes. Warpath. Who else? Swerve and Tailgate. Those are the guys. We've got a incomplete G1 Optimus Prime. We've got the re-release of Soundwave for the 40th anniversary. We also have the Kickback from the same line. That is a knockoff Devastator. Over there you can see a whole bunch of Construct bots. It's going to be really hard to tell who's who because they all look like Bionicles. Anyways, we've got some Robots in Disguise characters. We've got the 3 Autobots as well as an extra Sideburn. That's the red one. We do have the Stormjet. If you want to see everything better, I do have a collection Facebook page that you can check out. We've got all these bot shots because I love bot shots and I think they're cool. Power Core Combiners, I got a few of those. Animated figures, I got a few of those. I wanted to get more animated stuff. Cybertron, so this is basically the Unicron trilogy right here. And as you can see, we got the giant Cybertron Optimus Prime that everyone seems to love. Also, we've got a, I think that is a Universe Ramjet. We also have the Energon landmine in the back there. I don't know how well that is to see, but more Armada stuff. We've got some Minicons, including the ships and those little car guys. Some scouts that are looking a little drunk. I'm looking at you, Ransack. And then, I can't remember what these are called. I think they're Robot Heroes, but they're also at the bottom. Those are instructions to some of the Kre-O combiners. Anyways, we've got these black repaints of Energon toys. I don't know, they were only $1. We also have a custom DevCon that looks a little drunk. We've got Farage, that's the original Farage. We've got this third-party legend-sized Ratchet that I don't really know why I picked it up. We've got this Brawl knockoff thing. It's very weak, but it's still Brawl. Alternators Optimus Prime. We also have the Cybertron Metroplex, and I'm very happy to own that. We also have the Silver Streak, or Blue Streak, whatever you want to call them, from Alternators. We've got the Shockwave that turns into a ship. In the back there, we have the Scavenger and the Skipjack in box. We've got some of the... Oh, God. Is Thundercracker going to start a fight with Optimus Prime? Those are some of the one-step changers, or activators. And then over here, we've got some Beast Wars characters. So Tigertron. We've got the Shark Guy. We've got the Rat Guy. Cheetor. Ape Guy. Dinosaur Guy. There's also a drill bit. Most of these are reissues. We've got the Master Please, can I get a Soundwave? I also got the Starscream, the Shockwave. Behind there, it's really difficult to find, but there is the Barricade and Bumblebee from the movie. There's Optimus Prime, you can definitely tell by the tall trailer. And let's see, we've got some Earthspark stuff, just a few things. And then these are knockoffs of, I think it's the 6-gun combiner, can't remember, but those are all knockoffs, and it didn't come with any of the parts to combine them, so I just have them as separate guys. And then also, there is a third-party Leadfoot, because I got that the same time I got the deluxe official Leadfoot. Yeah, it's a long story, but that's everything in this room. Bionicle! Got the flickering light again. This is all Siege Transformers, so we've got mostly Voyagers over here. And then it travels to Deluxes. We've got some select stuff. We also have the Brunt that's been stickered up into Deadlift. There is the Ratchet, that's the Walgreens exclusive. Thundercracker and Skywarp are over here because I wanted Skywarp to match with the Autobot Sideswipe pack. We've got the green light, and then a bunch of Micromasters and Battle Masters to trail it off. This is like a knockoff puzzle of the famous Optimus Prime pose, but he fell over, so now he's riding a dragon. Finally, I could show you the brand new shelf! If you're wondering where my Siege leaders were, we've got Shockwave, Ultra Magnus, Optimus Prime, and Astrotrain, also Galactic Man. We've got the Gigawatt, whatever you want to call him. We've got Ectotron right here. We had to get the HasLab Omega Prime all combined and ready to, I don't know, beat something up. We've got the, I think it's JP93 and the T-Rex guy. We also have behind him, there's Siege Jetfire and Skylynx. But it's kind of hard to tell because we've got the Ark, Black Zarek is behind there, the Cybertron Metroplex, and the Omega Supreme. Although this shelf might change, I might move a lot of this. Originally, this shelf was just going to be Kingdom, so we've got the Deluxes, the Voyagers, and even the leaders in the back. But then I found out, hey, I got a lot of room, let's put up some of the Earthrise stuff. There's some selects, and a lot of figures are yellowing. We do have the Rodimus Prime in the back, and the reason why I was able to add him on is because I just have some guys standing on top of his trailer. Also, I have a spare Smashdown. Here are my Legacy Deluxes. It's not everything because some of the exclusives are at the bottom shelf, but it's the majority and especially the main releases, the non-exclusives for Legacy, Evolution, and United. Over here we have Studio Series 86. So I've got all the Dinobots, none of the Commanders. I really wanted to complete the Devastator, but I do have all the Junkyuns. I pretty much have the first wave complete. And over here we've got some core classes from the Studio Series 86 line. And then we've got some Hot Wheels as well as a couple from Metal Earth. Now this shelf was originally going to be Voyagers and Leaders. And while I do have that, you could see Tarn and, you know, Twin Cast and the Leader Megatron and Galvatron and whatnot. You'll see some more in a second, but we also have the Wreckers collection. I don't have the Bulkhead. I do have all my core class figures here, including a couple of customs that were based on, I think they were Energon repaints. I did also bring out my Menasor, and the reason why I have them here is because I do plan to have Superion over here from Age of the Primes. Over here, we've got shattered glass stuff. So Optimus Prime, a Starscream, we've got Ratchet, we got Slicer with the exosuit. We also have a little Ravage, but it's not from the Generations line. I think it was like a collector's exclusive. You can see the Armada, Megatron, and the Dreadwing. Again, it's really hard to show with the lighting. Hey, Sea Spray! Last but not least, this is mostly exclusive. So the Walmart lines, Velocitron, G2, and the Star Raiders as well. We have the Hotshot, the Cascade, and whoever that is. We've got the Shockwave, Orion Pax, Megatron, and Ratbat. Let's see, we've got a couple of 4-packs. We've got the Doom and Destruction collection, you know, with the Decepticon guys. We have the Commander class, Optimus Prime, as well as the Megatronus, or not Megatronus, I keep calling him that, it's Magmatron. We also have the Holiday Optimus Prime, you can just barely see his arm. We've got some Age of Prime stuff, and then I also decided to put in my Origin figures all together. And ladies and gentlemen, this is everything else. So I've got some of the Swapticons. I do have one of the Hero Mashers. It's just Starscream. I got it from a dollar store. There's the only red figure I got, which is the Prime RC. My Funko Pops, which is Optimus Prime Grimlock, which is number 69. And it's hard to see from that glare, but it is Shockwave. You can see Unicron's mouth going, oh, and that's probably because of all the Blockies figures I got. Look at all of this. Wow, I'll take a closer look in a second. But yeah, we also have a custom Seeker repaint. That was made by 01 Transpan, just kind of like a random thing. He also made that the little strike of the Legends class version, you can see right in the middle there. Anyways, let's take a better look at these. There's some Dinobots, Constructicon vehicles. This is mostly the Defender versions. God, Defensor is confusing me now. Anyways, I've got the majority of them. I don't have the Devastator upgrade kit. Here's the Galaxy figure, so here's a bunch of Autobots. And then that leads into some Decepticons. I put Blitzwing behind the Constructicons. I wonder if he's going to ask them to build a bridge or something. And then we've got the Transformers 1 series. I think it's Galaxy version 7. I don't have the... I think it's Galaxy 5. There's a Golden Lagoon pack. There's my Action Edition Optimus Prime. We've got some Classic Class with the Transformers 1 Shockwave, Soundwave, Ironhide, Megatronus. And last but not least, we have the Blockies Classic Class Dark of the Moon Optimus Prime. That is everything. That is a lot. Hopefully I can review a lot of it. So, yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time.